Yo, what the deal is, man? It's your boy Super Mario, man. We are up in here again today with another live stream, man. We're going to be working with a new tool that came out today, surprisingly, whatnot, man. Shout out to Plugin Alliance, Brainworks, some long time tools I done had in the arsenal for a very, very long time. Going on since 2016 to be exact. Whatnot, man. That new tool that came out is called BX Clipper from Brainworks. So whatnot, man. We're going to be taking a look at it. On the instrumental here. And we're going to talk about clippers, primarily the three main clippers that I use in my mixes. Actually, four. It's four of them, or whatnot, and we'll discuss what those four are. But the main focus is BX Clipper. Real good tool. If you're wondering what the hell is a clipper, or whatnot, a clipper is nothing but a glorified limiter that can be used creatively to push certain sources forward in the mix, if that makes any sense. So if you're having a problem with drums, having that dynamic, you kind of want to have the drums to be loud and have a punch to it, but be defined and push it forward in the mix. You can do numerous different things and you're going to get different results. But what a clipper does is it's going to basically give it a clean, transparent, let me not say that. It's going to give it a loudness that still retains dynamics, and it'll push whatever it is forward. You know what I'm saying? And it just cuts straight through the mix. You can use it as a creative tool for as adding saturation to a sound by overdoing it. Another way is to, again, just push something forward in the mix. But clippers they're fun to use. They're awesome to use. No, I ain't gonna say they're a must to use because it won't work. What you do in one song won't work in another song, if that makes any sense. But if you use it right, you can definitely get some really, really good results. And that's what we're going to talk about. Primarily BX Clipper, but I'm going to show you my other clippers that I use, my go-tos, man, and stuff like that. So I hope you guys have been doing all right out there and everything like that. If you're in the music producer community, a lot of things been dropping. Let's see, this week, last week was bananas. This week, since August, basically, man, new shit just been dropping when it comes to plugins and, hardware and everything like that. But Ozone 11 came out today, I think. You got doggone, the BX Clipper came out. Let's see what else. It's been so, SSL been doing a thing. What else, man? There's some other stuff that came out. Plugin Alliance been dropping a lot of things too, so I can't even keep up, man. I can't keep up until they slow down in the wintertime. That's when I'll be doing my videos. So that's why I always tell y'all to subscribe, stay tuned, look out for a live stream because I can't keep up. I work a full-time job. I gotta help put food on the table. I gotta have an internet to stream. So, what I'm saying? I don't have time to, do the videos full time, as I have a 9 to 5 and everything like that. But, yeah, man, we'll definitely be doing a whole bunch of live streams. And the last 2 years, that's what I've done during football season and everything like that. I just do a whole bunch of live streams to, try to catch up on a lot of different things. Instruments coming out, loop packs, VST plugins. There's a lot of shit dropping, and it starts to slow down right after the holidays, right after that Thanksgiving, Black Friday holiday. So and stuff like that, man. So a lot of things dropping, man. But we're gonna focus on BX Clipper tonight, man. So without further ado, man, let's go ahead and get in here. I ain't got too much to talk about tonight, but we're definitely going to talk about the BX Clipper. We're gonna be in Studio One tonight, again, working on a beat and everything like that, and talking about the clipper, what we could do with it on this particular beat or music composition to be proper. We're definitely going to use the clipper on the drums. We could probably use it on the bass and stuff like that. And, maybe on some vocals. I don't know. Just to kind of play around with it, whatnot. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do, man. So let's go ahead and start the music. And we are in Studio One, of course, and everything like that. What I want to do is go to the main section here in Studio One. I have it color coded because I was working on the hook earlier. This particular song, shout out to my boy Rick Rucker. He has a hook on here, something that we're currently working on. And on the hook, it's basically the hook is mixed, done. You just got to come back and do the vocals as far as the verses is concerned. But the blue is the hook and or the chorus to be proper. Yellows are, this is the intro. This is the verse. Let me blow this up for you guys. I'll put myself at the bottom here. All right. And blue is the hook, verse, and outro. Super simple arrangement. Nothing too serious there. But this is the instrumental that you're looking at. All right. We're going to focus on mixing this tonight. Whatnot. It should be fairly easy, man. Ain't too much going on in here. You can see right here, this first track is going to be the drums. And I think I got another percussion part in here. And let me do something really, really, really quick here on my vocal track. There we go. So when I hit solo, it won't stop on me here. Let's go back and do this again, y'all. All right. There we go. All right, cool. All right. So, oh crap. Shit. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I got this assigned. There we go. All right, cool. All right. So, basically, we have the drums right here on this track. Yeah, and let me get some volume too. Oh, I forgot I had it turned down on the mix on the bus for the drums, for the beat there. All right, cool. So that's my drums right there. That was used with the U-Jam Beat Machine Glory. That's a really, really good instrument right there. And I think I got some more percussion in here. Let's see here. I think not. I think everything was done with that. All right, cool. And what is this? And that's the delay in there. And we have the reverb. One way, just a side note, one way you can find out if you got stems that you bring into Studio One is that if you can't see what's going on, but you hear what's going on, bottom right here on the arranger view, you'll see data zoom, this little hamburger tool little situation. And you turn that up and you can see everything exposed. So right now, this track doesn't have anything on it throughout. So I'm just going to get rid of that. All right, cool deal. And this is our delayed signal we have here for us, the return track in a stem. So that's what that is. And I apologize, you guys. There's kind of like a delay of what I'm listening to because of the sample size that I'm using in Studio One. So I apologize for that. And I'm also super tired. I am tired, bro. I am worn the hell out. So apologize for that. But yeah, so we just got the drums right here. All right. And if we go to the mix, all right, we're gonna go ahead and pop up what we're gonna be using today is the AMIC 9009 or 9099 console. It's a pretty cool console. Don't know too much about it on the hardware side, despite that it was actually an actual console. It's an emulation and everything like that. But this is one of their dark skins, but you know what I'm saying? This is the actual proper skin. So you probably have seen this in magazines and on websites when it pertains to BrainWorks and everything like this. This is one of their original plugins that they have here. All right. And so something like this, I would probably, go ahead and do something with the drums or whatnot. But in this case, we want to play with clippers. What can we do hybrid and everything like that? So what I'm going to do tonight is basically we're going to take this drums. We're going to play with the clipper and everything like that. And we're going to hit these drums real good. Everything else is kind of like on the melodic side. That's not the drums. It's pretty much sticking through. You know what I'm saying? It already sounds good and everything like that. So that's what we're going to do. Real quick in and out type of session. All right. I'm going to explain my process. First off, we going to talk about the clipper. Let's just get the elephant out of the room with that. All right. Again, brand new plugin dropped today. And really, 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 really simple interface, man. If you know anything about a clipper, they're not too hard to operate. But you know what I'm saying? If you don't know how to operate it, you can kind of get some bad results. Okay. And it's hard to get bad results, but you may get bad results if that makes any sense. All right. So, excuse me. So what we have here is some very simple controls. Ceiling. This is basically kind of like, you know what I'm saying, your hard stop for the you could say the how your measurement of your sound source is going to stop at. So let's say, for instance, the ceiling is at negative 0.3, like what I'm trying to dial in here. Okay, 0.4, shit, 0.2. All right, if this is at negative 0.2, that particular signal is not going to exceed that by way of the plugin and what it's doing. That's what the ceiling is. Now, on this plugin, there's something with an auto button, you know what I'm saying? And it'll create an auto ceiling. You can kind of play around with that, and we're going to do here pretty soon, but that's what the ceiling is. The knee on this particular plugin is very unique. The knee, depending on where you turn it, you're going to get some soft clipping, or if you push it aggressively. And I never played with this plugin. I just installed it right before I got on this live stream. But I'm quite sure if you push it like this right here, you're going to get hard clipping. So if you're familiar with clipping, you got soft clipping and you got hard clipping. It just depends on how much clipping you want to shave off. So if you have something that's like this, like a snake, then it's going to go up, make a plateau, and then come down. So yeah, let me draw something for y'all, because I swear I wish I had a whiteboard that was built into the streaming software here. I could explain it to you. So soft clipping is going to be something like this right here. All right. It's going to be something like that. If you can see that, that's going to be something like soft clipping. Hard clipping is going to be something like this. All right. It's going to be this one right here. It's going to look like that. You know what I'm saying? And so basically what you're doing is you're taking a sound signal, and in between those lines that's running parallel, that's, you know what I'm saying, what's being compressed in a sense. You know what I'm saying? That's what the clipper is doing. It's like it's limiting, but you know what I'm saying, it's basically making sure that nothing doesn't go past the ceiling that you set. Okay, so that's what the knee is basically doing. A clipper is nothing but a glorified limiter, basically. You know what I'm saying? So a limiter ain't nothing but a glorified compressor. So if you take a compressor, you make it a limiter, but you make a limiter a clipper. You know what I'm saying? That's how it kind of runs, in my opinion. Don't hold me to it, but I'm just telling you what I learned throughout the years, whatnot. And clippers really wasn't so great, you know what I'm saying, a while back. So they just really been starting to do a really good job for us plug-in manufacturers with clipping and everything like that. But get back to what I'm saying, though. That's what the knee is. The knee is going to give you hard or soft clipping, point blank, period. All right. Right here, you have diode and FET, man. And basically, man, what that is giving you two different styles of clipping. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have the diode circuitry, and then you're going to have the transistor circuitry for us, the FET. You know what I'm saying? So if you are into the nerd side of things with audio electronics. FET, if you don't know what FET is, it's a solid state type of circuitry, transistors and stuff like that. Diode, it's gonna be kind of like another type of circuitry there. I forget what diode is, so forgive me on that. I'm tired. But anyway, you got left and right mode, and you also have mid to side mode. So one side will be clipping the mid, and the other side will be clipping the side information as that. So just imagine mid and then side information. You know what I'm saying? Left and right. See what I'm saying? All right, cool deal. Moving along, input, your dB input, how much signal you pushing into the plugin, your mix knob at 100%. But I want you to notice something. The 100% is not all the way clockwise. It's at 12 o'clock. So on this particular plugin, there is something called overfold. Okay. And then this right here will give you a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, the clip signal mixed in, which is called parallel clipping, so to speak. It's like parallel compression, but you know what I'm saying, you mix in that process signal into the dry signal itself. But when you go past 100%, there's this thing that comes right here called overfold percentage. Okay. And basically, this is going to be real, I don't know. I never heard of the overfold before, but based off of what the manual said, it's basically inconsistency of clipping on the signal. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that, let me draw it for you. All right. So basically, when you have something like this, you know what I'm saying, this bad boy right here, when you have something like that in the circle, right, you got hard clipping going on, then you will have something that kind of goes like this. At the bottom right here, you'll have these inconsistencies of clipping, basically when you go overfold. So basically it's almost like you're overdriving the clipping, and it's causing inconsistencies with what the signal is doing. Okay. That's something new, a new term that I haven't heard before. Maybe that's some scientific stuff that BrainWorks been using for a while, that they give you a saturation or a dry button and you utilize that. You're doing overfolding. They just never exposed it on their products. No, well, now they did or whatnot. So that's what that is. We'll experiment with it with the drums to see what it do. We have the output knob, which basically controls your gain coming in, going out of the plugin. Excuse me. So it's very simple, and that's it, man. The only other thing I didn't talk about, you have an auto trim here, and I'm not exactly sure that's for the output or for the input, or whatever the case may be. But let's just reset that back to 0, and then right here, that's to turn the auto trim on. So we'll figure out what that's doing right there, okay? And then the ambience, excuse me, the ambience when this is engaged, excuse me, it should basically monitor, you know what I'm saying, the information that's being clipped. So if you're driving the clipper real hard, you should be able to monitor what's being clipped without actually listening to the dry signal, in layman's terms. All right. And that's basically it. You got some metering for us, the left and the right channel. And of course, when you turn that on mid side, you got your mid side information, you got the side information, your meter for your input levels, your output levels, gain reduction right here, peak and RMS levels. And you can also listen in solo for the right signal or the left signal, or mid or side with the headphones. All right. Not hard at all. Not hard at all, man. So look like we got some oversampling built into the plugin right here. So anytime you see something that says 4 times, 2 times, 8 times, or whatever, you got built-in oversampling. So by default, 8 times oversampling, not bad at all. And of course, you can change it to whatever color you want. Right now it's on red. If you want to go to blue, you know what I'm saying, we could do blue. So we're going to keep it on blue because we're going to keep it on blue. All right, cool, man. So let's go ahead and just turn this plugin off right now. I'm going to turn it off right there. And let's go ahead and get started. Just putting like a little quick mix on this particular plugin here. Now, what I'm going to do is utilize, I'm going to turn on my second camera so you guys can see what the hell I got going on, y'all. All right. So what we're going to utilize is, that that down right there. Let's focus. All right, cool. We got this compressor right here. If you're into audio gear, nerd, and you want to, oh shit, sorry about that, y'all. If you're in the audio gear and you know anything about different processors and whatnot, there's a company in Austin, Texas. Shout out to Austin, Texas, called FMR Audio. They make some really good stuff. You're probably familiar with the really nice compressor here. This is a really, really popular compressor in a lot of studios, kind of like a hidden tool. But they also have another one, which is called the really nice leveling amplifier. This has more of a darker tone, and has a little bit more analog vibe to it and everything like that. And we're going to go ahead and compress those drums, and we're going to run that signal. God damn. Hold on a second, y'all. That bad boy is sitting in the back, and I'm scared to move. Let's do this right here. All right, there we go. We're going to run this signal into the mixer here on channels 7 and 8 right here. All right. And we're just going to utilize the EQ here, or we can use the master EQ at the top right here. All right. Either way, we can use EQs. If I'm not using any other channels, I just may use the channel EQ just to be good right there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and just compress this. And I think we're going to hit the compressor first, then the EQ, then come back in and re-record the signal. All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So in order to do that, we will need to go ahead and set up the pipeline audio plugin on the track. And we're going to choose the stereo option. And the important thing with the pipeline XT plugin that's built in from Studio One is you have to be careful with it. All right. And you have to make sure that, number one, your audio IO is set up correctly. All right. And I have my audio IO set up specifically for this interface that I'm using, the Studio 1810, and everything like that. So I have everything routed for as mono channels, the stereo channels of alike. And got to make sure that your IO configurations is rock solid in Studio One. Otherwise, you're going to run into a big problem. Okay. So this already said and done. What we're going to do is run stereo out. And I think I'm going to run this out. Let me think here. I'm coming back in. Let me look at this for a second. Nah, I forgot that quick. Let's see here. We're going to run out 5 and 6. All right. So about 5 and 6. And I'm going to come back in 3 and 4. All right. We're going to run a ping. I always want to do a ping. So we're going to hit that ping. Right there, we got some signal coming in. And we're going to hit that right there. Audio again. Boom. Just like that. You'll see that your sample's going to offset. So we're negative 1798 samples off. That's a big latency difference. Overall round trip latency is 6.94 milliseconds. That's for all the audio nerds out there. All right, cool deal. So let's see if we got any signal coming in through here. Let's see here. And we do. And that bitch is being heavily compressed, and we're barely getting signal in here because we have this muted. So let me go ahead and drag this out for you guys. Let's put this back on here. All right, let's get a real wide view there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and unmute that. We're going to bring our preamp level gain down. Let's go ahead and reset our EQ here. Put everything by default. Main, bring that up to 0 right there. Bring this down, bring that up. And we're good coming in. Let's put that on 0 and bring that down right there. Let's do that one more time. Let's take this compression off. Let's get that gain staging proper. So what we're doing now, I'm just using the preamp on the mixer to get the right gain stage in here. I have it set a certain way on my interface. So my preamp on 3 and 4, I'm not going in direct. I'm using the preamps, but I have it set both of these 3 and 4 at 12 o'clock. All right, cool deal. So I'm multitasking tonight, y'all. Y'all please forgive me. All right, cool. So we got our preamp set up right here to hit the line. If you're familiar with the Model 12, there's a line that goes across the meter, and that's going to represent a negative 12 dB stop, basically. I can go and exceed that with no problems or whatnot, but it helps you ensure that you got proper gain staging. But because we're sending out, I kind of want to push this around about around -2. So let's push a little bit more gain. All right, so there we go. Now we can EQ right here or on the master section. To be honest with you, on this particular mixer, I mean, they're both 3-band EQ, and I think they do the same goddamn thing. But because I ain't got to stretch up here, I'm just gonna use it right here. So let's give it a little bit EQ. A little bit of low end. Now the low end is fixed on 80 hertz. Let me stop that. Low end is fixed on 80 hertz. The high end is fixed on 10,000 hertz. Both of those are low and high shelving. And then you have a parametric mid-band frequency where you can sweep anywhere between 100 hertz all the way up to goddamn 8,000 hertz. All right, let's hit play again. I like that. We got a lot of good mids. Let's let it go back in. We don't have a bypass on here, so we're just gonna have to trust our ears. Now we don't have any compression going on because this particular channel strip has a 1-knob compressor, which means it's a fixed ratio, fixed threshold, and a fixed attack and release time. We're not gonna use this compressor. We're gonna use this bad boy right here. So let's go over here and let's get in there. So basically our signal chain is going to be compressor, then the EQ, and then coming back into the interface. That's how we rolling. All right. So let's go ahead and put this on 2 to 1. See if I can get my arm right here. All right, let's feed it a little bit of threshold. Sorry, y'all. So what I'm doing is trying to glue the signal. Just giving it a little bit. Let's restart that again. I like how that sounds. Sounding a little bit glued now. Wayne Wilson, what's up, Chief? I call him the magic fingers. That boy good. He can play that keyboard real good, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So this is our compressed signal. We're gonna go ahead and bypass to hear the sound. Very interesting. Not only you get the glue, but you get a little bit of analog punch. It reminds me of an API 2500, but not really. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like on the cheap budget side, about $200 something if you're interested in this right here. RNLA 7239, really nice leveling amplifier from FMR Audio. I'll type that in there or whatnot while I'm doing the bypass or whatnot. But I want you to listen. So if you're not listening on earbuds, speakers, or any other high profile monitoring device, you're not going to hear the difference. And even through going through this YouTube internet audio, you're probably not going to hear the difference because it's effective, but it's subtle at the same time. If that makes any sense. But let's go ahead and do that again. Let's go ahead and loop this blue section because this is where the hook at. All right, let's play that again. So that's the bypass signal. I'm gonna go ahead and unbypass. That's the unbypass signal. So I hope you're hearing that really don't have enough oomph to the to the bypass signal, right? And I'm just trying to type this information in because somebody, if you got $200 to spend and you want, a starter hardware compressor, this is a really good grab, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. And it's effective, and y'all gonna see tonight. All right, here we go. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and unbypass the signal, and you're gonna hear the difference. So I like what it's doing. It's adding a little bit of punch, just a little bit. And it's just gelling the mix together. It's kind of giving it a warm tone a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's doing something in those low mid, the lower low mids of the frequency spectrum of that particular drum signal or whatnot. So let's go ahead and get wild with it and just watch me do my thing on this compressor here. Let's go ahead and slam it. You hear that pumping? Woo! Now that's a slow attack. That's a fast attack. I like what that fast attack is doing. Let's back off on the threshold a little bit. Interesting. So we got gain reduction around about -6. That's anywhere between -2 and -3. Let's bring our ratio back down. We're kind of like around about 3 to 4 to 1 ratio. Let's bring it around to 2. And we're going to adjust very slowly until we get that happy medium. Boom. Now that's a quick release. All right, now let's go ahead and back off on that release so we can get a slow release. So I'm looking at the second little LED light, and I'm using that to judge the release. When it let off that clap, I needed to respond just like the clap is responding on this little second LED light. Let's bypass it now. See how the mix is kind of, is this consistent? Now let's put it back in. See how everything is even? Cool. Now we do have a little bit of gain loss, so we need to make up the gain. Now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring down my preamp gain to a safe to the stop line on the mixer, because I'm going to be doing some clipping. So I want to have enough headroom. And I also want to match, if you look here, I want to kind of match the input. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong goddamn screen. I want to match the input level, or excuse me, the send level back on the return. So this is going to be, this level right here is coming from the mixer and the compressor and the EQ right here. So we're a little bit hot coming back in from eyeballing everything. And we can't really trust this. So let's do a mix difference. So that's the unprocessed signal. Big difference, right? So we're gonna turn down the main fader here on the mixer. Let me put this back on there for y'all. I don't know what's going on with that popping. Bring it up a little bit. All right, cool. So we basically back at a nominal far as bypassing the signal coming in, the process signal coming into the pipeline, and what we have on the original stem audio or whatnot. All right, so now that we have that established, saying something real quick or whatnot, let's go ahead and play around with the clipper. All right, so basically I'm gonna put the pipeline first in, and I'm gonna turn off this channel strip here because we're not gonna use plugin today as far as the channel strip is concerned. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on this clipper right here, and let's go ahead and drive this bad boy. I understand what's going on here. All right. Let's go ahead and hit play. So that's what the signal looked like, left and right. Basically what you see here on your doggone wave file here. All right. So that's what you're seeing. You feel me? It just split up and it looked different. All right. All right, cool deal, man. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna drive our input knob. Why? Because we set our gain staging coming out of the mixer into the doggone interface. So we set ourselves up pretty good to go ahead and utilize the plugin to get sufficient volume in here. That way we can go buck wild if we want to, or we could be reserved. It don't matter. That's why I be telling people all the time, gain stage. You can drive it hot if you want to. See, when you drive it hot, what this thing is doing is already clipping and you ain't did shit yet. Let me reiterate that again, because I don't think that sit with people a lot. When you're recording vocals, you're recording a keyboard, you're recording guitars, a bassist, a drummer, a violinist, xylophones, harmonica, accordion, goddamn a scratch board. It don't matter what the hell you're doing. If you drive your signal too much and you utilize the plugin, a delay, reverb, EQ, compressor, clipper, chorus, modulation, it don't matter. If you don't have proper gain staging and you drive it too hot, whether you're on one channel strip here or you're coming out of the doggone preamp, a mixer, whatever you're using, you have to gain stage properly. Leave yourself adequate amounts of headroom. Give or take in between -12 or -6. You got to give yourself, if you're mixing it, or somebody else you're mixing it, adequate headroom. I hear it time and time again on people's records. No disrespect to anybody out there that's listening right now or in the future. It's just, you know what I'm saying? I tell people that so they can save themselves the trouble. Because once it's recorded, let me say that again. Once it's recorded, you can't undo it. Unless you record it in 32-bit floating. That's a whole nother conversation. But once you record it, you can't go back and fix it. Because you see what's going on right now? if it's hot like that and I start EQing and compressing and saturating and all that other shit and it come out sounding like shit, it's shit. You know what I'm saying? How that good saying that says, don't go fucking around, or well, how that shit go? If you fucking around, I forget how that shit go because that shit funny as hell. If you're fucking around, if you go fucking around, you're gonna fuck around and find out. Or if you find, yeah, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, if you know, you know. But basically, if you go fucking around with the game stage and you're making the shit hot, it's gonna be coming out hot, basically, and you can't undo that shit. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I tell people all the time, it's always important to get your game staging sounding good, proper. That way, when you turn it up, you can turn it up and stuff like that just to see how it sounds. But once you commit to a hard drive or tape, they used to call that tape. But now we're in the digital world. So once you commit that to ones and zeros to the hard drive, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to stop that and show you guys that when people talk about gain staging, they ain't lying. Because what we did, we took the signal as if we had a drum machine, ran it through all this hardware, and you recording it back into the interface. And when you hit play, motherfuckers be having that motherfucker like that. You feel me? Oh, if you don't believe me, let's go to the mix window. And you clipping. You can be clipping just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of red. Let me drive it for you guys. You see how it's kind of like, let me blow this up for y'all because I don't think y'all understand. You see how this, it's like, oh, here it is right here. I'm sorry. Let me make it easy for you. That's the master right there. When it sound like it's fizzy and you ain't did nothing to it, gang station. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is right there. Just wanted to point that out, man, because that's very important. And I'll say it over and over and over and over and over because I'm helping somebody out that's learning how to do it the right way. You feel me? Even though my vocals coming out loud and stuff like that, that's all good because the human voice is very delicate and stuff like that. You can do a lot with it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring it out. So what we're going to do is just, again, use the clipper and we're going to go ahead and drive the input in. So we're just pushing that input in a little bit. What I want is to touch that zero now in the digital world. All right. Now I'm going to set my ceiling at, I always like to set my ceiling at about -2, -0.2. We'll get a little bit of gain reduction here. But notice when I turn that knee, let's see what happens. Y'all remember those pictures I saw? Hold on a second. Y'all remember that picture I showed y'all? Well, what's blue is what's being clipped. And what's white is what you're actually hearing. It's a visual representation. So we slamming the knee right now. So basically what this plugin is doing is it's a combination of threshold, determining if it's hard or soft clipping. Right now at 10, like I said earlier, it's hard clipping. So basically, you're basically kind of like, this is the main processor right here. Anytime you see a plug-in, they got a big ass knob, that's the main processor. All right, let me turn this damn ticker off. So that's the main processor. Now, the style of clipping is going to be either the diode or the FET. So let's hit it again. That's the diode. So the diode is going to give you more of a rounder sound. The FET is going to be more squash and a little bit more hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hitting it real hard. It's kind of like a flat squash sound versus the diode is more of a soft, gentle, rounder type of sound or whatnot. But I mean, this plugin is very easy. I mean, you're dealing with the ceiling, input, output, knee, diode, as far as the style. That's basically it. The clippers are really hard to understand, but the way I explain it is because I wanted to explain it that way. Gain staging, whether you're in the box, with the clip gain, or you're utilizing another plugin and you have the output of that plugin. It's the same thing what I did with the doggone mixer gain stage before you actually use something like a limiter, a clipper, or a saturated type of plugin. Because when you use these plugins that have distortion, saturation, or some type of compression, if you don't have your gain structure correctly, it's gonna fuck up your signal. Just wanted to throw that out there. All right, cool. So that's basically what the plugin is doing. All the other caveats is kind of like let's play around and see what the automatic ceiling is doing. So let's hit play. So we back at a gentle, modern type of clipping. We're shading it a little bit, so let's push it a little harder. Right here. Let's hit auto ceiling and see what happens. So right now, if you can see, auto ceiling is giving us a 0. And if I take it off, it's gonna go back to 0.2. And I can see that right here on the peak. Let me hit auto again. All right, cool deal. Now, another thing with the ceiling is when let's say you want to now set it at a lower rate, it's gonna push out. It's gonna try to squeeze as much information as you possibly can. Raise the bottom. Well, let me show you. So now you can use the clipper on an 808 and you can get that saturated, nasty 808. That type of 808. You see what I'm saying? But all you're doing is telling the limiter, hey, when I tell you to set your ceiling, this is at point, you know what I'm saying? Let me blow this goddamn thing up so y'all can understand what the fuck I'm saying. All right, so this is negative 0.2. Now we want you at, what is that? God doggone, negative 12. Okay, y'all see the camera? Y'all see my hands? Now I want you at negative 12 ceiling. That's negative 12 ceiling. And what you're doing is wherever your output is or whatever the case may be, all you taking and doing is that all that energy right there, you're just raising all that energy up and it sounds like shit. You know what I'm saying? This kind of goes like, that's kind of like in an analogy, if that makes any sense. So all you're doing is taking energy here and you basically doing this, you're doing this, you're doing this. And then with the volume, you're raising it up. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it is in a nutshell. It's a whole bunch of ways you can explain it. I mean, shit, but I'm giving it to you the poor man way, you know what I'm saying? In layman's term. That's what you're doing. All you're doing is taking squeeze energy and you're just making it louder and stuff like that. Now you can use it as a creative tool. And really don't worry about, you know what I'm saying, not to clip and, you know what I'm saying, keep it a nice little glued sound with no, you know what I'm saying, peaking and make it just sound subtle. That's not what a clipper is. It is a creative tool. And that's what we're going to do with the drum. So that's what the ceiling is. The lower the ceiling, the more nastier the sound is going to be. And of course, it's going to take away your dynamics. So that's why I use a -2 amount. That way I can get the optimum cleanest signal I possibly can with whatever I'm affecting, and then utilize the knee to get that right amount of and stuff like that. You feel me? So I like what the diode is doing. All right. Now let's do the auto trim. All right, let's hit this and see what happens. It ain't doing shit. Oh, there you go. It kicked in. So it lowered the sound to -4.7. It has to take a measurement. So once you do that, interesting. Very interesting. All right, cool deal. So we're just gonna set that back at 0. All right, cool deal. So the auto trim, it just depends on what what you're using. So if you're just using the BX clipper on, let's say, just a clap or a snare, and you want to retain the volume of the snare, you don't want it to be super loud or whatnot, you can utilize the auto trim. But I probably won't use that ever and stuff like that. I don't like anything auto. You don't learn shit by that. You know what I'm saying? You know what auto trim is? AI. That's all it is. There's some type of intelligence underneath the hood that's analyzing what's going on and doing it for you and stuff like that. So if you see anything auto and you don't understand what you're doing, but you want to use auto, then you're really not learning. You're defeating the purpose of you're taking valuable knowledge away from yourself. All right. So the auto trim seems like it's just it affects the output knob, and the output knob is right here. All right, cool deal. Now let's see what our clipping is doing. We're gonna go ahead and engage that ambient button and see what happens here. Now this, let me talk about this. I like this. You hear that static? That's how much clipping you got. Now, y'all remember what we did on the ceiling? Let's see. You can probably hear it from the ceiling or the knee. So let's do the knee first. So when you drive a clipper, and sometimes limiters have the same feature. When you drive a limiter or a clipper, and you have like a solo button or an ambient button or whatnot, and you're monitoring what's going on with the clipping process, this is the clipping process that you're hearing. So that's all that nasty stuff that's being compressed. It's all that energy. That's the energy. That's what they call dynamics being lost. So right now, if we was to use this, you're losing kick and a little bit of that top end on the clap. You see what I'm saying? You're losing that transience. Then you take it off. But see, that's the difference between clippers and limiters. Limiters, you're not gonna hear that you're not gonna hear the dynamics or the transients. But clippers, it kind of retains that information. Really weird, really weird or whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? That's what the ambient does. You hear what's being processed on there. Another plugin that's actually a limiter that has this type of function is the God Dog Fab Filter. It's the L. It's the limiter that Fab Filter has. That's a pretty good limiter. Really, really good. But it has that feature, and SSL has a limiter that does the same thing too. So any limiters that you have where you can monitor Kazra K-Clip number 3, they have that function too. So any limiter or clipper that has this function where you can solo what's being limited or clipped is really, really good, because they let you know how far of, or should I say, how much processing of limiting and clipping you're doing. That way you stay on the safe side and everything like that. So now you'll notice a difference in amplitude, right? Volume. You can drive it and make it sound good. And most people like, hell yeah, that's it, bro. Yeah, that motherfucker banging. It sounds good in your speakers. But when you play it on them iPods, these motherfuckers right here, you hear this right here? Yeah, that right there. When you play that back on one of these and you got that much shit going on, it ain't gonna translate very well in this. Because why? It's a lower, it's a smaller, cone. It's not gonna reproduce the low and the highs as you probably think. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. The bigger the thing, the more it can give you, but the smaller it is, the more it can give you. So it's only going to give you the mid frequencies, which is by way of the design and everything like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's a science. It's a science thing and stuff like that. That's one of those things where I have to have like a big facility and I can actually show you guys or whatnot. But that's basically what it is. It sounds good in headphones and stuff like that, but you also got to equate of, mixing for the iPods or the AirPods, whatever the fuck you want to call these things or whatnot. So Yeah, it sounds good and everything like that, but this is what's being taken away. That's why you gotta be careful with how you drive this bad boy or whatnot. So we're gonna put it back on 0.6. All right. And then what else we need to play around with? I think that's it, man. Of course, you can solo the left and you can solo the right. But we're not gonna hear that because you're on the streaming channel and everything like that, all right? Now let's go ahead and bypass the plugin and see where we're at. Yeah. Now we still got processing on the mixer channel. Oh, when you turn this on, because of the gain staging that we did on the input section and the output section, it kind of puts us back at square one. So if we was to go to the channel and bypass the insert effects, that's the raw. That's that whole stem. That's the stem audio. Turn back on the hardware side and the plugin side as far as the clipper is concerned. Now let's go ahead and play that with the vocals, just to show you guys that how this all kind of plays out. All right, that's with the vocals. Remember that? Now I'm going to put the plug in and the effects that we did outside of the box. Check this out. Whole H time. Who that mad? Who that talking down? Hogging up the lane, man, I'm showing my surround. Who that mad? Who that talking down? We gon' hold it down for the whole H time. Who that mad? Now, you heard the difference. It's like, damn, okay, shit, yeah, that drum, like it pushed forward in the mix. That's what the clipping does. It kind of pushes your sound signal forward in the mix. And when you mix around something that has clipping or limiting with it, that's called top-down mixing and whatnot. So basically, what I normally would do if I have a multi-track instrumental stem and I'm mixing it with vocals, I'm going to do the beat first because I want the beat to be energized, have character, have that energy where it'll be, you know what I'm saying? I'm basically taking the vocals and I'm mixing around the beat. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a cake. You know what I'm saying? If you have a beat that's not mixed and you mix the vocals first, it's almost like putting icing on top of cake batter. You see what I'm saying? But if you mix the musical part of it and you make that sound good, you bake the cake. The vocals is going to be the icing. Put that icing on top of the cake like that. Let it whip up real good. The presentation of it. So when you're hearing the mix, it's almost like looking at a beautiful cake. A wedding cake. You know, y'all know how the wedding cakes, they look so beautiful and everything, elegant. Let's take pictures of whatever. It tastes good. But when you cut into that motherfucker, it tastes even better. Why? Because you have the vocals and what's underneath the icing, the motherfucking cake. You see what I'm saying? And when you put both of them together, who that talking down, hogging up the lane, man, I'm showing my surround. Now you got all that flavor in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? You're tasting the vanilla cake, the chocolate cake, the coconut cake, the lemon cake, and then you got the vanilla icing, the got doggone whatever kind of what's the other stuff they use on it? It's another thing that's not icing, but whatever it is, goddamn coconut, the goddamn German chocolate with the, you know what I'm saying, the pecan icing. I'm hungry, y'all. I'm sorry. But you know what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? You eat the cake first. And some people, you know, they like their beat. They eat the cake first and then they eat the icing. You see what I'm saying? See how it kind of all makes sense? That's the beauty part about music and the art of music or whatnot. And that's how I had to learn for myself. And a lot of people don't know this, but let me share a story with you guys. That's how I learned how to do this before I even went to audio school. So I kind of knew 60% of mixing and audio recording before I actually got into audio school. When I got into there, everything kind of connected together because I had to think like that. When I used to go to Barnes and Nobles. That's when, the internet wasn't really popping like talking about. You had to read literature. You had to read books. You had to read magazine articles. You had to go in there and buy those SOS Sound on Sound magazines, the music, Music Radar, Music Tech magazines. I had to read all that stuff, read all the articles on how you do this, how you do this, how you produce, how you EQ, how you compress. And I had to make that make sense because I didn't have nobody teaching me and stuff like that. So, I was kind of like, well, kind of know it, but I don't know it. That's where I was at. Shout out to my boy Earl Paul. Sorry to use your government name if you're listening out there, man. But that was one of my producer buddies, man, coming up. And he said, hey, bro, you just need to go to school for it, dog. Best decision I ever made in my life, man, because it really changed my life for real. Because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. I wouldn't know what I know right now. But, you know what I'm saying? You have to kind of look at music in an illustration form. How can you take an analogy in doing it? So when you're mixing, you know what I'm saying? That's the good art about it, where you have to understand what you're doing. When you're boosting something, you're cutting something, you have to know how to carve that audio. When you're EQing, it's almost as if you have that person with the chainsaw that's doing that ice cutting and they carve all that shit with the ice. That's nothing but EQing. If you really want to look at it in an illustration form. If you want to look at compression, you know what I'm saying? We all eat hamburgers, barbecue. We always had a sandwich before, peanut butter and jelly style. You know what I'm saying? When you put anything in between that bread and you want to get a good first bite out of it, what you do? You squeeze that motherfucker. That's compression. You see what I'm saying? You're squeezing all the energy out of it because you want more taste out of it. Now, if you want to talk about saturation and, you know what I'm saying, distortion and overdrive and, you know what I'm saying, harmonic distortion and stuff like that, that's when you talk about seasoning, because you're putting that on top of the overall signal. Man, y'all ain't ready for that, man. I'm telling y'all, I got my courses coming, bro. If you want it, man, I'm telling y'all, just hang on for a second. I'm telling y'all, just I got y'all, all right? So that's basically what it is when you look at audio in an illustration form or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? So right now what we're doing is we're basically, we baked our cake. So that's where the drum's at right now. So when you hear the beat, it's almost like, okay, well, it just sounds like we just turned it up. You did more than turning it up. You actually gave it the energy it needs to go ahead and finish the rest of the track. The other sounds that's in it, musical, instrumental, the vocals, and everything else that comes in the actual mix, all the way down to the sub mix track in your session or whatnot. You see what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense to everybody that's actually listening. And if you want to share this with somebody, go ahead and do it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't explain that. You know, a lot of people say, yeah, man, you just need this. You need this compressor. Yeah, bro, you need a saturator. You need the stomp box. You need this and you need that. You can't tell people how you need something if you can't explain to them what you need with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell a dude to go build a house and you say, yeah, bro, you need 8,000 pounds of wood, some goddamn motherfucking 100,000 pounds of dirt, and 200,000 cubic pounds of goddamn cement. Okay, so what's the blueprint? Man, shit, I don't know. What the fuck, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I explain shit the way I explain it or whatnot. Yes, it took years to understand it that way, or whatnot. Am I qualified to tell you that? I don't know, shit. But I got a degree on the walls that say I can. That don't mean shit though. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes experience. It takes time. It takes hundreds of sessions. And I've done hundreds of sessions. And I'm very grateful I had bad sessions to learn from, because it makes the good sessions that I get now today super easy. And when I get the difficult stuff, I ain't got to sit up there and watch a YouTube video on one screen, and I have my Studio One or whatever I'm mixing with on the other screen, learning and mixing at the same time, because you got people out there that's really doing that. Let me stop preaching for a second, man. I'm telling you, bro, like, I've been real. But that's neither here nor there, all right? So that's where we at with it. That's why I wanted to show you guys, You know what I'm saying? You have to figure out what's important in your mix. Get that taken care of first. Top down mixing and stuff like that. I think I got a video somewhere on my channel with top down mixing. I do, because I did it in 2022. Y'all go scroll down a lot timeline on my videos or whatnot. But top down mixing, that's what it is. Start with what's most important on the master, sub mixes, channels, groups, then work your way down to the individual stuff. It's a new technique, man, a new fad in the mixing community or whatnot. So now that we got the drums taken care of now, you see how everything is hiding out of there? You'll notice all the melodic stuff is like, it's there, but then when you turn this drum, now you're making everything else sound good, right? Let's see, one thing I want to do is turn on my input controls. So you hear this sound, right? I got two options. I could turn it up on the input gain on the actual digital channel, or I could use this plugin and turn up the volume. And I probably will elect the plugin because it's, giving us some, a little color to the signal. Let's find where I input knob is. So basically what I'm gonna do now is gain stage most of the instruments. Now watch how I turn this plugin off. See what I'm saying? So that's the effects of the top down mixing method, is that it'll really bring out the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Coach Prime. I can use him for example. God damn it! So what we did on the drums, that's Deion Sanders at Colorado University. He's the leader. You make him great, everybody else gonna step up to the plate and be great. And you're gonna beat somebody like TCU and Nebraska on this weekend, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You bring out other things and make those great and sound good too. Otherwise, if you don't make that drum loop great, or you know what I'm saying, your overall 2-track mix or whatever the case may be, and you turn that off, both of y'all look like duds. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's all over the place, but when you get this one, oh, it's not sticking out. It's not on the same level as I am, because we didn't turn this one up. We didn't achieve this one. We made this one a little bit better on the volume and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just give you an idea. Now, I will put a clipper on here, but it's don't have that too much of a dynamics to use this as a good example. So we got this bass light. So do the same thing. So just pushing it up just a little bit, just a tad bit. Now those instruments actually, we ain't did nothing to them. We just turning it up. Now when you hear, it's like, well, damn, shit, I ain't really got to mix it. So when you do that process, it actually helps you make the determination, do I actually need to mix this sound, or just sounds good turned up? Crickets. I hope that makes sense to somebody out there that's listening, because it actually makes sense. You ain't gotta mix every motherfucking channel. I used to be that guy. I had to put mix on every goddamn sound. I don't do that shit no more. I do this method, and record could tell you. We done came and worked on something, and that boy then went to the goddamn club and performed something, and he like, and I'm scratching my head too. I'm like, God damn, shit sounding better than other people, other stuff, because that shit is super compressed, super EQ, because they done took out most of the mid range out of the damn sound, or they done took out the dynamics on everything or whatnot, and they ain't got no punch. Why? Because you didn't think about what the club got. They ain't got so much good top-notch sound equipment. See what I'm saying? It's a lot of things to think about when you're mixing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the hidden truth that a lot of people don't tell you. You're only going to get it if you go to an institution or you go to a studio where you got a dude that don't talk to nobody, but he can mix the hell up out of a song, or you got people that just keep it 100 with you. And that's why I have my YouTube channel, because I'm going to teach y'all the right way and not the fucked up way. Because most people right now, they're teaching the fucked up way and stuff like that. Some good, but not all the way 100. They're only going to tell you how to get to the interstate, but they ain't going to tell you what the speed limit is on the interstate. See what I'm saying? So that's what that is right there. So what we're going to do is do this right quick. I want to do this real quick. I want to see how much CPU usage is this BX Clipper. Let me check this out really quick, because I got a funny feeling this motherfucker is using up a lot of processing. Let's see here. So you can see it right there. It's using about 18 instances on the CPU. That's kind of a little bit high there. Maybe because it's the oversampling. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's do something real quick. All right. Let's see here. Let's take that down to 4 times here. And let's go back to the meter here. Didn't do too much. It's still around about 12 and 13. So the oversampling, it really doesn't matter. You can keep that on 8 times or whatnot. I think it's just the process of the clipper or whatever the case may be. All right. So, but for shits and giggles, let's do this. We're going to put that on the bass. All right. The same clipper that we utilize. All right. My PC should handle it. And to differentiate, we'll just use the color scheme. So we're going to use the red. Now we're going to use the clipper to bring out this bass sound. So this is the bass track. You see it? It's kind of like already clipped. It's already saturated by way of, I use the instrument called Hensive or something like that, or whatever the case may be. And, pretty well-defined sound, you know what I'm saying? But we can bring out more, right? Let's see if we can do something with the clipper on this particular bass sound. Synth bass, should I say. So we're going to solo the drums and this bass sound, and we're going to play this back here. Let's go right here, and let's hit play. All right. That's the clipper. It's not doing anything. Whoa, what the fuck? You see that shit? That's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and set our ceiling at -0.2. And let's go ahead with a diode circuitry because it's more rounder. We already got a clip signal anyway. So why the hell we want to go with a transistor FET and it's going to squash the hell out of it? So we want something that's going to be more rounder. Let's push the knee and see what happens. I want y'all to pay attention. You see this spike? You see that spike? That's why you got a visual representation. That spike is just going to clip that off of there. Knock it out. I don't care what you're doing, who you is, where you're from. Let's go ahead and slice that spike off. That's all I need because it's already clipped, but it's giving me like a saturated type of vibe, overdriven type of vibe with the clipper. So I'm not utilizing this to turn up amplitude. I'm actually utilizing this to get a different flavor. What I said earlier, sprinkle a little Tony Satchery on there, a little slap your mama. You feel what I'm saying? Whatever seasoning you're using, if you're a McCormick type of person, sprinkle a little bit on there and get out of there, man. Don't make it spicy, but if you want to make it spicy, that's what you're getting right there. That's ridiculous. You probably won't even hear that on a streaming service, to be honest with you. If you do hear, you're going to hear. That's what the fuck you're going to hear. I'm calling it a spade, man, for real. So think that's what we're going to do right there. Now you notice how it's loud. If you want to kind of retain what's coming in, let's hit auto trim and it should bring it back down. So when it stops blinking, it's just analyzing the signal. There it is. So negative 5.4 dB reduction on the output gain. Turn it off. See what I'm saying? So the auto trim controls the output gain. So if you don't feel like gain staging, hit the auto trim. Boom, there you go, right there. So that's what that is right there. If you want to use that, I wouldn't use a clipper per se on a synth bass like this, especially if it's squashed like that. But this is for demonstration purposes. So let's see what it does in the mix. So that's with the clipper on. Let's turn it off. Yeah, it just takes away the energy out of it. So, you know, that's what a clipper does on the mix. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool deal. Let's see here. Let's see if it's anything else in the mix. And all these sounds sound really, really good. So we just really need to turn it up. So I'm gonna shut my trap real quick and focus in real quick. So give me about 3-4 minutes. So that's the organ sound right here. Just a little EQ on that. Now you can hear that goddamn guitar is like compressed like shit. The only reason I know why is because when I actually made this guitar, I used a combination of a guitar pedal, you know what I'm saying? Basically a guitar chain or whatnot. So I already know it don't even need no processing. It's sticking out real good. So we just turn it up a little bit. hate this screen. I gotta readjust the goddamn what the fuck? Gotta readjust the goddamn GUI all the time. Let's get this one sound correct. Can't really. All right, cool deal. Now I got headphones on, so I already know this mix is gonna sound lopsided and everything like that. But just to give you an example of, saying basically what we did. So in a nutshell, if I was on the speakers and everything like that, right? What we did was just basically, conformed our mix around the drum loop itself, right? And you didn't have to do all that compression. You didn't have to do all of that extreme EQing. Certain sounds that you make beats on, and I think a lot of producers and beat makers don't understand, is when you're shaping that sound or you're using a VST, you need to analyze, number one, what kind of instrument you're working with, what effects they have in there. A lot of these VST instruments already are EQ compressed and have effects on it. So when you drop it into something with vocals like stems or anything like that, and now you got it with the vocals, now you're kind of like doing too much on that VST or that particular instrument, and you're just squeezing all the life out of the instrument itself. You know what I'm saying? So the way you can kind of like make it sound better, without EQ and compression, sometimes you could just run it through a outboard preamp. Sometimes you could just run it through some type of outboard processor. You see what I'm saying? Without having to overdo the actual sound itself, and or just turn up the input gain. And what I did with these plugins is kind of use that same thought process. If I was working in the analog realm, all I have to do is just take those stems, run it out of the console, run it out of your interface, hence go through the mixer, hence a channel strip, turn up the preamp gain, hence input gain. If I need to do a little EQ, boom, there it is. If I got some dynamics with the song, with the sound, okay, let's go ahead and compress it. But some of these sounds, if you look at the goddamn waveform, it don't need shit. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's basically how you do it. Then adjust your output coming out of the preamp. The mixer console, whatever. That's your output. Adjust that. You're good to go. You ain't gotta do shit. You know what I'm saying? Then all the other stuff that you want to do, all the good stuff you can do on the beat bus or the mix down or the sub mix, whatever you want to call it or whatnot. So and then now you bring in the vocals. You know what I'm saying? And I already know I'm rushing through all of this or whatnot, okay? But you kind of get the idea now. The whole beat, it kind of hugs the vocals. It's the icing on the cake. It's the top layer and everything like that. And that's what I meant by, that top-down mixing by way of a clipper, saturator, compressor, EQ, channel strip, however you're doing it, or whatnot. Now, to end off my live stream, let's talk about the other clippers that's in my topic. Mixing with the BX clipper, that's what we kind of did. Went over the clipper and everything like that. Now, the clippers that I use in my mix, and if I got somebody in the chat, I apologize. Mark, what's going on? My God. Yes, McCormick, bro. For real. I had to do it, man. I'm from the deep south, and McCormick just ain't enough, man. Like, our tongues are I guess biologically made a little different. It's just salt, you know what I'm saying? So we need a little combination of a little bit of everything. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. Who is this right here? Appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, man. So let's go over some other clippers here. We're just gonna use this drums for example because this is the only thing dynamic we have in the track itself. So we're gonna turn that clipper off and let's bring up the first one I want to bring up is Joey Sturgis. Now this particular guy, Joey Sturgis, is a rock. The founder of this company, Joey Sturgis, he's a heavy rock, metal type of engineer. And he came out, he's had his line of plugins a lot. But, you know what I'm saying, some of the stuff is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I have the glue, the compressor, the mix bus compressor bundle. I think that's what they call it. It's like every plugin is a glue plugin for vocals, guitars, bass, drums, and overall mix or whatnot. But this motherfucker right here is pretty good, god damn it. You know what I'm saying? This is a clipper, another clipper. It just has a different flavor. You know what I'm saying? So now, like my boy Mark said, the McCormick, the McCormick. Okay, so the BX clipper, I'm gonna be honest with you, it doesn't have a lot of color. It's one of those clean clippers. You feel what I'm saying? Very, very clean. Mark, what you said? The BX clipper is kind of like a McCormick seasoning. This right here, I will put this in the field of god doggone. I don't think this is Tony Satcher. I don't think it is. I think this is more like. Let me see here. There's this seasoning that they have in Houston. I find it in all the Fiesta grocery stores. If you know anything about Houston and you see the grocery store Fiesta with the damn parrot on there and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? There's a particular all-purpose seasoning that they use. And it's really, really good. You know what I'm saying? And they use that mostly on Tex-Mex food down here. This is where this will fall in at. You know what I'm saying? This is one of those Tex-Mex all seasoning type of deal or whatnot. It's pretty good though, man. And I'm going to give you guys a sneak preview of how this sounds. If you haven't heard this or whatnot, the magic in this plugin is not the all-in-one knob that they have here. This right here is the mix. Your trim is more of a ceiling. That's all the trim is. You set it at -2, it's not going to go past -2 or -3 or whatever the case may be. It's right here. This oversampling function is subtle, but it's very effective. And you can hear the difference. Depends on how far you drive this bad boy right here. All right. What he said? Rock salsa. Rock salsa? I never heard of that, man. I never heard of rock salsa before. You got to fill me in. What is rock salsa? Whatnot, man. So let's play in this loop right here. I'm gonna wait for your answer, Mark. I'm gonna be on the lookout. Let's see. So we added a little bit in here. Now you don't hear a lot of squeeze. You hear more of a transparent deal, and you hear more of the low end is being represented, and a little bit of sprinkle of the high end. You turn it off, you'll hear an amplitude difference, right? But you turn it back on. Now let's turn on the two times oversampling. Now we can bring it down. Now add a little bit in here. The lane, man, I'm showing my surround. Who that man? Who that talking down? We gon' hold it down for the whole age time. Who that man? Who that talking down? Hogging up the lane, man, I'm showing my surround. Who that man? Who that talking down? We gon' hold it down for the whole age time. Who that man? Who that talking down? So basically, this one, it's a different type of seasoning, right? It could be that rock salsa, like my boy Mark said. You know what I'm saying? It could be rock salsa. You feel what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It's just a different flavor of a clipper. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people, when you go to a studio, they have more compressors than they do EQ. They have, if you go to any studio, you will see a lot of different type of compressors than you would EQs. You know what I'm saying? Most of the EQs is going to be really what the console, and then all your outboard gear is compressors. You got goddamn 3 or 4 different types of goddamn 1176. You got a couple of different types of optical compressors in there and stuff like that. A whole bunch of VCA compressors and stuff like that, whatnot. So basically, you know what I'm saying, when you think of a clipper, just think of it as a glorified compressor. That's all you're doing. It's a combination of compression, upward compression, turning it up with limiting, and still retaining your dynamics. Again, different type right here. I utilize this. It just depends on what I'm using it on. So this is not a one-trick pony. A clipper is never a one-trick pony. You see what I'm saying? It just depends on what you're utilizing. That's why if you buy a plug-in and you invest your money in a plug-in, please make sure you know what you're buying or whatnot. That's why they give you demos, because they don't want you to waste your money on something that you're going to hurt yourself on or whatnot. The next one we're going to pull up is, what is it? Oh, George Sturgis not rock. He not rock. I thought he was like rock or metal. Oh, I get it. My bad. He's probably more metal, heavy metal, right? Correct me if I'm wrong or whatnot. I think he's more metal, heavy metal or whatnot. I forget. Rock is different and metal is different. Those are 2 different type of genres. So I apologize for the other audience out there and stuff like that. If I don't know, my bad. I kind of put it all in one big umbrella. So my bad. Cause yeah, there's different type of rocks out there. I had to kind of think about it and listen to the music in my head. So yeah, for sure, man. What my boy Mark said, nah, you good, bro. All right, cool deal. The next one I'm gonna pull up is the it's the Boss Little Clipper right here. All right, and I know Joey Sturgis, he had a sale on most of his stuff on this website. I think I got an email on Monday. They had like a summer sale going on. So if you wanna go check that out, you definitely can. Let me see why. I am getting sick and tired of this right here, the collapsing fold option on the channel strip. All right, so this is the Boss Little Clipper. I did a TikTok video on this right here. This is also a different type of flavor. This one right here is kind of like, it falls in between. If I had to explain this before actually showing you the audio, it falls in between transparency and a little bit of harmonic saturation. It's kind of like in between. It's a happy medium in between there. Even though they show you like a glimpse of a tube in here, it's just a gimmick. Okay, it's just a gimmick. You actually have to use your ears. What's really, you have to kind of like, when you're playing with this in your studio, is pay attention to the shape, the top and the bottom. It does something very interesting on the top tone of the signal and the bottom tone of the signal. Okay, it gives you representation of the curvature of the threshold. You see what I'm saying? When you adjusting that threshold or whatnot, so the shaping of, you know, the signal and whatnot, for as hard and soft clipping. But you got to use these in tandem in order for it to work and everything like that. It's just kind of like a tone shaping type of tool. But let me play it just to, you know, give you an example of it. Let's go ahead and mute the vocals. Make sure everything is off. All right, let's go ahead and push it. So I'm gonna stop it right there. When I push this more and more to the 100 percentile, you'll notice that that high end start reducing. You start losing a little bit of the high end. That's because with the tone shaping tool, however this thing is designed, is basically squashing that top end. If I was to do this on the bottom end, let me play it again. Very, very, very suddenly you start losing the punch, the transient of that kick drum and whatnot. Same thing that happens with the high end. So you got to be kind of careful with this right here and really use your ears if you're going to use this one. This one is very interesting because when you push it and you pull it, you notice there's a noise floor right here as well, right? That's bad. That's very, very bad. Or whatnot. But when you push this right here, and you pull it down, you really get like a nasty squash type of sound. Again, just depend on what you're utilizing. If you have a bass sound, like a bass guitar, you could definitely get some good, interesting things out of here or whatnot, because it's gonna give you that squash acoustical bass type of sound. Really, really good. You know what I'm saying? But on electronic music, you gotta be careful with this. Just depends on what you're using. You can use it very subtly, but the magic is a very subtle ceiling, which is what they call a pool. So anywhere around about -0 to -0.8, you good. That's a safe space. And then this is driven by taste. You know what I'm saying? You're pushing that signal up into the actual plugin itself. Or whatnot. It just gives you a different flavor. You know what I'm saying? You give it a little bit more, you're gonna taste a little bit more salt, a little bit more pepper and stuff like that. But if you back off a little bit, you know what I'm saying? If you don't like, you've got diabetes, high blood pressure, whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Keep the push a little bit down right there. Keep it very moderate or whatever. But this gives you the best of both worlds. You can push it real good. You get that dirty type of sound that you're looking for. If you need that clean sound, this is what this one is. You do have an oversampling option on here, and the results are really, really good, or whatnot. All right, cool. So that is the Boss little clipper. I utilize that a lot. I utilize that a lot on claps and snares, especially if I'm utilizing like an old school drum machine or whatever the case may be, or whatnot, man, and everything like that. And let's see, that's one. We got another clipper here. So that's the BX. That's the little clipper. We showed you the Joy Sturgis. Another one is the Kazrock. Kazrock. They've been put on the map with the Avalon remake and everything like that. The K Clip 3. Whew, this one right here, man, I can't even really explain it. I kind of like it and I don't like it. It works well on an overall mix. So let's do that. Let's put that on an overall mix. All right. Let's put this on the master, right? All right. And let's take that off of the drums itself. So the drums don't have a clipper on here. All right. Wait on. Let me think about that. Let's put the BX clipper back on. We're going to keep that on. We're going to utilize the K clip on the overall mix. And you can see it's picking up a voice and everything like that. This plugin, I use it and it works very good. Just depends on what you're using. I would probably put this more on melodic instruments than I would on a percussive instruments or whatnot. But I'm gonna play it so you can actually see it. All right. You got a measurement right here to let you know where you at on your lufs. You got a threshold, you got an input knob, output knob, soften for us. How soft or hard you want, limiting and a ceiling. All right. But all of these are really, really tricky. So let's hit play and see what it's to do. So I'm gonna set my ceiling. So this is the button where you can actually listen to what's going on with your thing. And as you heard me talk, you heard me clip. So that was me clipping right there. All right. So that's what that is right there. So what we're going to do is not drive any input. We're going to take the same thing that we were using and we're going affect the threshold because we got this on the overall mix. We don't need to push signal in the actual plugin itself. Now you can see right here, you'll notice that we got dynamics right here, and you'll notice that my voice sound like a goddamn radio right now. CB got doggone hams radio. And you can see that the signal, because we adjusted the threshold, you see that? God dang, right there. That's where we at right now. So our ceiling is at negative 0.1, but our threshold is at negative 8.6 dB. We ain't do nothing to the output, and we got it on the softest setting as well. Now on the soft setting, for as how much, if you want soft clipping or hard clipping, you got different kinds. You got a smooth type of curve. You have more of a crisp, a tube tape germanium, silicon guitar amp, or a broken speaker. So you get these different type of flavors of clipping, which is real good, but we are definitely doing too much. So let's bring that back to 0. You don't notice my voice is the same. So let's hit play again. All right, cool. So you'll see right here, and I love the visual representation, just moves very slowly. This is what was clipping. Because it doesn't have a gain reduction meter, you can't really know what's going on. You definitely got to use your ears on this plugin, and the only way you'll know what's going on is to turn on that little thing right here so you can see what's going on or whatnot. And so that was our gain reduction. So I have negative 1.5 dB on the threshold for as clipping is concerned when I play back the mix. All right, cool deal. And you'll notice that when I turn the threshold and you start to hear the clipping itself, you'll notice in the visual representation on the waveforms to show you the different styles or different flavors of clipping is evident right here. Right here, I changed it. I changed it right here, changed it right there, changed it right there, changed it right there. So that's what the K clip does. It's very, very responsive. If you do more of a acoustical style of music production and not too much electronic, you know what I'm saying, a lot of soft synths and everything like that, this will work. If you're utilizing, you know what I'm saying, a lot of plugins as far as VST instruments and stuff like that, this probably won't be good because it's very, very sensitive. Or, you know what I'm saying, if you got something subtle or whatnot, I don't know. It just depends. That's why you got to try and you got to know which ones or whatnot. I don't pull this one out a lot because of the sensitivity that it does right there. But as you can see, it's very sensitive. It works. And I told y'all with the same plugin with the Avalon, when a plugin reacts immediately, like the Casserole did on the Clipper and stuff like that, that's a really good plugin because it's very responsive. It's just like when you turn an EQ on a mixer, you know what I'm saying? It just works when you turn it. This is what this plugin does right here. So you have to be careful with this one right here. All right. There's no wiggle room with the K clip. And last but not least, Decap. I had the pleasures of meeting Decap in Dallas with an organization called Our Standard Producers. I used to be a battle producer or whatnot. I did beat battles and all that other stuff, man. And let me see if I can find this bad boy. Hold on 1 second. Shoot. Plug in. But yeah, met Decap at an event in Dallas. Real cool dude, man. Very awesome producer, man, and a sound designer or whatnot. But he got the plugins that knock series for us, his drums and stuff like that. Got a couple of plugins. This bad boy right here, if you get lucky, you can catch it on sale for like $19. And it's a limiter. It's a clip. It's a clipper, and it's super simple. This is soft to the left, and to the right, it's hard clipping. And you remember that stuff I was doing on a piece of paper? Let's go back. Remember this when I was doing that on a piece of paper right here? Well, basically, this is why I do what I do and I talk the way I talk. Because I don't be lying to y'all. I ain't got time to lie. I'm too old to lie. All right? You know what I'm saying? If we turn that to hard clipping, this is what you get. What's circled? Hard clipping. When you do soft clipping, it's more of a natural sine wave or more of a natural signal, which is this right here. Okay? Right there. So I don't be lying to y'all, man. I don't be lying to y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this visual representation is doing. You're determining how much soft or hard clipping you want, and everything else lies in its knob. And you can hear the noise floor increase as I turn it up. You can even see it on this meter right here. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all for a second. All right, cool. Okay, so that's the noise floor, and I turn it back down. It gets quiet and whatnot. That's only if you're listening like on some AirPods or whatnot. All right. So we're gonna turn off that K clip, take that off the doggone master track. All right, so we're gonna put this on the drums. I think I put this on the drums here. Yep, I did. All right, so we're gonna do the drums again, and let's turn off the BX clipper. You can see it's off. All right, so we just got the knock clipper on here. Now, I wanted to notice something. They give you in and output meters or whatnot. You'll notice that the input meter is a little bit lower than the output. So let's go ahead and gain stage it. So even doing gain staging, you'll notice that it has more glue when the plugin is actually on versus when it's not on or whatnot. So this one right here, I ain't gonna call it tone saturated or whatnot, but I'll say it's like low sodium tone saturated. Stuff like that. Because you got some limiters out here that's really, really good. Like that got doggone foul filter, L2 limiter. That's tone saturated right there. Love that limiter right there because you could actually make it work like a clipper, in my opinion, or whatnot. But you know what I'm saying? This is low sodium tone saturated. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna definitely give you that flavor without being too gnarly with it or whatnot. And I utilize this a lot when I'm making the beats, the knot clipper and the Joey Sturgis. Yeah. And the BX clipper is pretty good, man. I have to say, it gives you two different type of flavors. You got the diode and you have that FET, that transistor type of circuitry, emulated circuitry, should I say, or whatnot. So it gives you two different blends, or whatever the case may be. And Brainworks never disappoint or whatnot. And this is really, really good. Now, the only thing I totally forgot, and I apologize. I'm gonna get the hell up out of here tonight, man. Mark be laughing at my analogies, man, for real. He said low sodium, but yeah, let's try the BX clipper and the overfold function. That's the only thing I forgot to go over. Okay, so the overfold, you know what I'm saying? Basically, this is gonna kind of like, what I'm thinking this is gonna do is it's going to I think the overfold is going to overdrive. It's going to give us, if I can explain this like a guitar pedal, and Mark, you may understand where I'm coming from with this. this is probably going to be more like an overdrive pedal going into a compressor. And it's kind of like that. It's I don't know. I never tested it yet, but I'm thinking this is going to overdrive the signal or whatnot. And let me line it up right here. All right, cool. So right here. So when you turn that, you'll see this thing overfold, and there's a percentage to it. And when you go here to like 110, now you're 10% overfold. And the way the diagram showed me in the manual, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, it just breaks up the signal for us, that hard clipping, you know what I'm saying, with the plateau down and again with the plateau. It just breaks up, and it kind of does this situation right here, you know what I'm saying, at the bottom. It just breaks up the signal when it should look like what's in circle. So let's go ahead and try this out. I'm going to turn back on the clipper here, and let me get this oriented for you guys again. All right, I'm going to turn this on, and then we're going to turn up the overfold or the mix knob and see what this drum do. We're going to solo the drums, by the way, because we really want to hear this, because I'm very intrigued in what this is going to do. Now let's hear. Okay, let's drive a little bit of. Very interesting. Let's put it back on 100. Let's put it back on 100. Let's take the ambient off, and let's hear what's going on once we drop it like this. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to put it at 150. So it's like a overdriven signal on the actual clipping, but it's an overdrive that's clean. You know what I'm saying? It's not really. You can hear the drum loop, you know what I'm saying, kind of break up, but it's a clean breakup. And even when I switched it to the FET, the FET circuitry or whatnot, it's a breakup in there, and it's overdriven or whatnot. But it sounds really good. It sounds really, really good. Yeah, exactly. See, my boy Mark agreed with me. So if I had like a acoustic drum set, that probably would sound really, really nice. Give it a real and drums. Excuse me, Mark, you do drums, and you probably agree with me if we use this overfold feature on some acoustic drum kit, like an acoustic drum kit, that probably have a nice sound to it, bro. Yeah, I hope you agree with that or whatnot. So the overfold, I'll probably be utilizing that a lot, especially like on overheads when I utilize some songs right there. So I'm curious, on my next live stream, I'm definitely gonna be pulling this out because I get the best of all the other 4 clipper plugins that I have that I use pretty regularly. This actually does a lot in between all 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? Giving me a clean signal. I can push it hard, still get that breakup, and then get a little bit of overdrive signal in it as well, and still monitor, you know, saying how much clipping I get. So shout out to Brainworks on this one right here. I didn't see this one coming, but it's this is pretty good and stuff like that. Oh yeah, Mark, man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's probably sound really, really good, man. So yeah, man. I think that's all we're gonna do for tonight. Let me go ahead and bring this back down to more of an adequate level right there. Let's bring this down. Let's bring it down. All right, we're gonna bring that down right there, man. So yeah, that's basically what we focused on tonight. You know what I'm saying, far as with clippers and everything like that. Really didn't do like an in-depth, you know what I'm saying, mixing video, but just really kind of played with some clippers and everything like that. So yeah, my take on the BX clipper, and I didn't feel the need to do like a recorded video on a clipper, because it's just, I don't know, stuff like that, because there's so much you can say and explain with clippers and not put it in a recorded video, or whatnot. Recorded videos are very strategic, in my opinion, but this BX clipper is pretty cool, man. It's really, really good, I have to say. I like the GUI, of course. It's really, you know what I'm saying, laid back, cool. But what I like about it the most, in my opinion, let me look at it again. I will probably have to say is, I probably have to say, and I made a big purchase today, y'all. Please forgive me. And I'm gonna share what I purchased with y'all. And it's really needed, you know what I'm saying, if I want to take my productions to another level. And that's what I've been doing the last 2 years, or whatnot, man. But it's the mix knob, that overfold percentage. I really like that. The reason why I like that is because if you're just so happen to be collaborating in person with another producer and they have an NPC drum machine, or shit, I don't know, a goddamn Lin drum, a motherfucking SP1200, you know what I'm saying, or a Roland drum machine or something like that, you know, one of the newer drum groove boxes or whatever, and you pull out this plug-in on the actual track that you're working on or whatnot, and you overdrive that overfold, and I'm doing it right now. Those drums, very suddenly, it gives it I can't explain it, but it gives it an edge. It gives it a breakup of an edge where it's clipped like crazy, but it's doing something. I don't know, bro. Like, I read the directions in the damn manual, and it just said it breaks up the signal in it. The terminology didn't make sense scientifically, and I know audio electronics, and I couldn't understand what the hell it's doing. But now hearing it, it does something really, really good, like an overdriven but very, 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 very soft digital overdrive to the signal. And that's my favorite feature on this particular plugin. Everything else is pretty standard, you know what I'm saying? You push it, you're gonna get more you know what I'm saying, clip audio and everything like that. And then, you know, your ceiling, input knob, all that shit right there. But when you overfold it, if you're into that boom bap music, even acoustical drums, shout out to you, Mark, man. Mark is a really good Mark right here, man, is what I call my pen pal. If you old school if you old school, you know what a pen pal is, man. Shout out to Mark, man. He's a real good drummer out there in California, and everything, Southern Cal, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's out there in Southern Cal and whatnot, man. We just recently, man, just linked up and everything like that, and stuff like that. We're working on a couple of things right now, man. But like you said, and then he agrees with me, that overfold, it sounds really good. It's very interesting because I haven't seen that terminology, but it does something real special. And I have it on the drums right now. I don't know what the hell. I'm lost. I'm probably gonna have to go watch the YouTube video again. And I like doing reviews on plugins like this and not doing any type of homework on it. Just really kind of playing with it. But I can hear through the, you know, I got it turned down at about like negative 25, negative 30, kind of like a dim button on an actual monitoring system. and you can hear it's overdriven to a certain extent. I don't know, you know what I'm saying, but it sounds really, really good. And you know what I'm saying, that's the feature I really like on here. So if you're like into boom bap or any type of sample based drums, and it does have some retainment on the transients itself, it works really, really good to give you a subtle overdriven flavor. You know what I'm saying? You can pull out certain things like a, you know what I'm saying, cranking up your preamp on your interface, a mixer, utilizing a guitar pedal for as an effect on your drums or whatnot. But you know what I'm saying, if you don't have that and you just have the plug-in, definitely look into the overfold. You know what I'm saying, push it past 100 on the mix knob and to get that effect or whatnot. That's what I like about that, and the fact that you can get two different flavors of clipping with a FET transistor type of circuitry or a diode type of circuitry or whatnot. The diode is going to be more rounder, you know what I'm saying, and the FET is definitely going to give you that squash type of sound. So I really like this plugin. They didn't miss as always, you know what I'm saying. Shout out to Brainworks, man, or whatnot. Real big company, man. They got bought out by Native Instruments. And I think Native Instruments got bought out by somebody else, but they all working together and whatnot, man. And you know what I'm saying, they killing it right now. I know I represent a lot of plugins. I got a shitload of plugins, but if I had to choose one, it'd be Plugin Alliance, man. They have been very, 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 very consistent with each release. Like every release they put out is fire, like for real. From the emulated plugins to something original like the BX Clipper, they're very consistent and very conscious of what they do as well, man. So yeah, it says Brainworks by Native Instruments, so they rebrand big time, man. So shout out to them, man. But yeah, man, I have the mega bundle, and yeah, bro, this is what's up, man. So without further ado, though, man, last but not least, I'm gonna share with you guys, man. I hope my wife ain't listening. She gonna kick my ass. But there's this guy on YouTube by the name of I forget his name, man. I just looked him up today because I was doing some research, and I had to make this purchase, man, because after I seen this dude do this, he was working on an MPC. I think it was the MPC Live, the second generation or whatnot. And he was working with some hip hop drums. And when I tell you, this dude, when he put this doggone pedal on them drums, I about pissed on myself because I was like, God damn, that sounds good. And I heard a lot of people talk about it. A lot of people talk about it. They swear by it, like, yo, this is what's up. But I couldn't find nothing. All I could hear was bass guitars and electric guitars on it, and I finally found the channel and stuff like that. But let me see if I can pull this up. But when I found this dude, I forget his name, man, and whatnot, but he's real popular when it comes to MPC tutorials and everything like that. And I saw him use this pedal because he incorporates guitar pedals with this MPC just to get different flavors out of his, you know, saying samples and beats that he make on there. But this bad boy right here, let me tell you something. This thing right here is a motherfucking beast. Excuse my language. But this guy right here is a beast. This is called the Color Box. And if you're looking for any type of color, flavor, like this is Tony Saturate's mixed in with the goddamn what they call that, the Pocky chip, the one chip challenge type of deal, mixed in with a goddamn habanero with a damn lot of Carolina Reaper. This is all of it in one. It's a guitar pedal, but it kind of emulates a Neve console. And let me tell you something, you could do a lot of shit with this bad boy. It comes with a 3-band EQ, overdrive, preamp, and an output trim with a high pass on here. And you can read the description, but go look up JHS pedals. So it's made in America, right there in Kansas City. and go do your research on the Colorbox version 2. The version 1 it looks pretty simplified, and it only had like 3 EQ knobs. But this one right here, you can adjust the frequencies as such, and you can adjust the gain stage for us coming in with the high-low right there. But this bad boy sounds really, really good on some sample drum loops or any sample. But they tell you in the description, you can use this on anything: vocals, live vocals, kick drums, acoustic guitars, bass, keys, overhead drums, stereo buses, room mic synths, reamps, and some large stage setups if you got more than one. And I heard it on vocals. Solid. I'm talking about up there with like a Need 1073 clone, like a Bay or Heritage Audio or even an AMS. It's up there. Like the side by side. Nick, excuse me, I'm sorry. Boy, I got excited for a second. My bad. But man, this thing is bad, bro. And I went to go look at the price. I shitted on myself. So shout out to Klarna and stuff like that, man. I had to put this on a payment plan because I needed this or whatnot. And this is dope, bro. Like, for real. I'm so excited to get this right here and play around with it. Because if I don't want to utilize this thing right here, which it ain't really true analog. You have to have the 16 channel and the 24 channel, which I don't have a desk space. And I barely have it sitting on this doggone stand right here. But this is it's a hybrid digital analog type of situation. And it really doesn't color the sound. And I don't have anything for as pedals. The only pedal that I have really is this bad boy right here, the Q strip, and it colors real good. And I got a couple of other guitar pedals back there, but they not really transparent. Not really transparent like talking about, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know what I'm saying, I could utilize this, but this is a Behringer channel strip, you know what I'm saying? And you know, it's got the Midas preamp in there, but it's a little bit too bright for my tasting. But this right here is not as dark or has that bottom range as a actual 1073 or any of its clones, but it's damn near there. It's a little bit brighter on the high mids, if I have to explain it or whatnot. And this right here, you can put this in your backpack, and if you need a console type of sound, this is really, really good. So we're gonna play around with this probably next week. I'm too bad I gotta go out of town this weekend, but this bad boy is bad, man. So do your research on this if you don't know anything about this Colorbox. And I was always intrigued by this, and I've seen guitar videos on it, but I finally found the video on it. I think his name is Malo Beats, MALO Beats and stuff like that. But if you go look up NPC tutorials, and you will find them. It's something with an M, Malo Beats, Malvo Beats, or whatever. And he's got a video with Electro Harmonics pedal, and then this one right here. And when he put that doggone sample on there with just the drums, and how he kind of twisted the step and the pre-volume and adjusted the master for us coming out, and he just had the EQ knobs all the way at 12 o'clock, which pretty much was sterile. All I could do is just shake my head, man, because that shit sounded really, really goddamn good. It didn't break up the sound. It didn't do anything distorted. It didn't do anything overdriven. It overdrove the signal, but it was still clean, and it retained the dynamics. And when he turned this pedal off and he just went to the regular preamps on the interface, it was like night and day, man, for real. I mean, it poked out in the mix and stuff like that. So yeah, this is coming soon or whatnot. Another reason why I like it too is it has a combo jack on the incoming side, and it has a 20 dB pad. That's major on a damn guitar pedal. You know what I'm saying? So if the signal is coming in too hot, you can actually turn it down before it actually come in, and you come out on the other side with either a line level or an XLR level, or should I say a mic level or a line level. So you got two different outputs right there. You can't use both of them simultaneously. You have to use one. So that was cool. You know what I'm saying? You can come out mic or line level, and then you have a choice to come in combo right here. And the cool part about it is you can pass phantom power through here as well. So you can actually hook up a condenser microphone that's receiving phantom power, and take the back end of that microphone and plug it into this bad boy, get whatever type of tone you're getting out of it, and you can come out line or mic. However your hookup is desired, or whatever the case may be. More likely it need to be mic, whatever the case may be. And then you can get all kind of different flavors coming out of here. Hence the name Color Box. So this has been coming a slow trend in the beat making community for us utilizing guitar pedals, and that's how I kind of got this shit in the background. All the damn pedals y'all could probably see in the background here, far as my right there in the background right there, man, right here, all them pedals I've been buying and stuff like that, man. But it's really, really fun, man, because it adds a lot of good stuff to your signal, especially if you're sampling. If you have a too clean of a synth sound and you want to utilize the guitar pedal, just crank out one of them. Get very experimental or whatnot. I can't talk tonight for some reason, but yeah, man, that's what it is tonight, man. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too longer or whatnot. We just want to kind of discuss clipping and everything like that. I done hit my 2-hour mark and everything like that, but I do these live streams just to let you guys know. I do these live streams. I know Mark already know, but you know, we do these live streams for anyone out there that don't know. I do live streams for 2 hours cap. I try to, at least, unless I tell y'all otherwise, so people can really understand you know what I'm saying, audio. When you got people like myself and Mark, you know what I'm saying, that's been doing this for a while, and you have a good appreciation of, you know what I'm saying, both sides of the world, as far as in the box and out the box. You got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You could be a bad motherfucker, man, like for real. But you know what I'm saying, everything done in the box is really, really good, and that's how I kind of came up, as far as how I knew everything. But I also had the pleasures of working in the studios, and you know what I'm saying, playing around with the good stuff. And there is a difference, you know what I'm saying. There a plugin is really good for what it is, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta meet on both sides. You gotta meet in the middle. And if you're gonna do everything in the box, just make sure you got a good preamp and a very damn good interface. And you'll be surprised if you have a mid-level interface with good hardware, gets really good results. You know what I'm saying? But I tell people all the time, you're not gonna know what a good sound quality is if you don't experience what good sound quality is. You know, don't fuck around and find out. So stop fucking around. That's what I was trying to say earlier. But you gotta experience good sound quality, man. Like, you know, if you gotta go to like a ballin' ass studio and hear some boutique stuff. Not on YouTube. No, you gotta go in person. You gotta touch that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you get an appreciation for it. And you wonder why people like myself on YouTube, we talk about emulated plugins, because some of that shit is just, it's expensive, bro. Like, you don't want to know the price for this bad boy right here. And some of y'all probably slap me through this damn screen right now and be like, boy, you stupid, boy. But let me just go and show you guys if you don't believe me, man. So that's the price for this this is the price for this pedal. I'm sorry. Shit, let me put it up right there. That's the price for that pedal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing to stun about, but when you want good sound quality, you're gonna pay for it or whatnot. And this pedal, man, it actually represents it doesn't have a compressor on here, but it has the EQ. It has a preamp on here. And then if you overdrive that preamp, it's gonna give you a distortion. So it's like 4 or 5 different type of processors in one. Not to mention the functionality that it has or whatnot. But it's gonna give you results. And if you know what the results are supposed to sound like, you watch that good YouTube video. Shout out to that brother, man, with the MPC tutorials that utilize this bad boy. And you hear it, you're gonna be like, yo, I need to get it, man. You know what I'm saying? And the ironic thing was, I was kind of shopping around to have a budget to spend on like a $200 budget, you know what I'm saying, preamp. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going through this phase of just, I kind of want to, you know, I always say before I die and leave this earth, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I'm young, but I ain't young. But, you know, we live in a crazy world. And if I die and I leave this earth, I want to say, you know what I'm saying, I hit all points in the music industry. And God's doing his work right now, because I'm literally hitting all points in the music industry, music community, what you can learn and what you can experience. And, you know what I'm saying, I still got a few roads to go before I actually hit that. But, you know what I'm saying, like, this touches a lot of points, like for real. In a small form factor, that's another big thing. If you were to look at this compressor right here, it's not a rack mount. It's not a 19U rack mounted type of situation. I mean, it's the size of a guitar pedal. It's a real small unit. I mean, you recognize this. This is an Apple iPad dongle right here. And stuff like that. I have it sitting up as a prop to give me an angle. That's how small this FMR really nice compressor is. Same thing with this one. You see, this not even a full rack interface, but that's what a 19U rack interface look like right there. That little situation right here, this red one right here. You know what I'm saying? Now look how small this thing is. See what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking for something, you know, that I could work with at home, and I have to be at the studio at the same time. But, you know what I'm saying, this is a small form factor, and this is another guitar pedal, very expensive, Jesus. But man, let me tell you something, Neve style, this right here, this is a really good EQ. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really make EQs that fit in the rack anymore. But I wanted something analogish, hardware-ish, and here it is. Small form factor. Yes, it's a guitar pedal, but it's very transparent. I mix vocals on this all the time. So anything that I've done for you in the last two to 3 years, if you get your stuff mixed by me, it's been ran through here. You know what I'm saying? Very clean. Very, very clean. Long as you can control this output knob right here, because this drives, and when you turn it up like this, it'll definitely give you an overdrive signal. You know what I'm saying? And it breaks up really, really good. But you know, so you keep it about right there. I got a little a mark on here where I don't go past this little mark right there. You can probably see it. It's a little black mark right there. But as long as I don't go past that mark, I'm good. As long as I keep it right there, gain staging, I'm good to go. Really good quality, man. This thing's built like a tank. But yeah, man. Just this desktop stuff I could just fit on my desk. Got the Nooks. You know what I'm saying? That's another unit that's really, really good. Gives you all kind of different flavors. So basically, I got color boxes around here to color the sound. That's what I've been kind of working on, and that was something that was missing. That needed to be transparent, but you can drive it at the same time. What's good with your big dog? What's going on with you, bro? Yes, sir. Appreciate you for tuning in. I'm just talking some shit right now, but this bad boy right here though, man, it's this is the missing piece right here. I already know it. You know what I'm saying? And I finally closed the chapter on, you know what I'm saying, buying stuff. For real. And everything like that, because this right here is really, really good, man, for real. So you know what I'm saying, as soon as that come in, man, we're gonna be doing a lot of videos with, you know what I'm saying, these little pieces that we got here in the studio. And this is gonna be really experimental stuff. And these are going to be recorded videos, you know what I'm saying, running signal through here, there, this bad boy right here. Don't sleep on that. That's, hey, if you got synthesizers, hey, you might want to look into that, man. This is all you really need. You don't really need a lot of guitar pedals, but you know what I'm saying? It's a little quirky trying to go in there and work this and stuff like that. But the reverbs, the delays in here, the amp sims, the cab sims, the modulation effects, A1, really, really good, man. There's some others that's better out there, but if you're in a budget, don't want to spend no more than $250, look into this MG400, man. For real, for real. The only thing that sucks about this is the damn compressor. This sucker right here, man. This compressor sucks. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's only two models in here. I'm trying to get to the doggone shit. Hold on one second, y'all. There we go. You only got two different type of compressors, I think. No, it's three. This one right here. Let me see it. Get in there. Get in there. All right. So this one right here, emulated MXR. It's an MXR pedal. Hey, sounds good. The hardware sounds good. This one right here compresses the fuck out of here for no reason. No reason. It just compresses. It's just a nasty sound. This one right here, it breaks up as well. Just a nasty sound. I don't know what the emulation is on this one, but it's called the Rose Comp. And then this one right here, piece of shit. No, I don't know what it's trying to represent, or is it just the original processor in here, whatnot, but it sounds like shit. So what I do before I even touch this unit right here, we go through this right here. This is Electron Harmonics platform. Really, really good stereo compressor. So I actually can route this compressor stereo input, output. I could actually come out of here, go into here, and then go on the interface. But I also have this as a flavor and this as a flavor. You know what I'm saying? Without having to have a damn rack full of goddamn shit or whatnot. That's at the studio or whatever the case may be. So, yeah, man. So that's my little, experiment or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You got certain people that work on cars. I don't work on cars. I love cars. I love the muscle cars, but I don't work on cars. But I do work on audio stuff, and that's what that's my hobby, man. Just kind of playing around with things or whatnot. You got people that work out. You got people that garden. You got people that, you know what I'm saying, they break the egg layers off of egg. They count popcorn, stuff like that. So this is my hobby, man. But you know what I'm saying, I enjoy it at the same time or whatnot. But yeah, man, this bad boy right here, man. I'm telling you, if you're into, you know what I'm saying, trying to step out the box and you want to incorporate a little bit of juice, a little bit of seasoning with your signal coming out of the box or whatnot, and you're looking for a place to start, don't do like me and try to buy all this shit and you realize that this shit it's okay, it works, but it ain't. This right here is really good, man. And it do go to show, man, you really gotta spend that money to get what you're looking for and stuff like that. So the only caveat that's not what's up is it's mono. It is mono. Again, mono. There's no other input. So you will be coming in one signal in, one signal out. That's the only bad part about this bad boy. But you know what I'm saying, it definitely does the job just as much as, you know what I'm saying, this mixer over here to my right does as well, man. So yeah, I'm very, very, very excited to look for this right here, man. So it's a steep price for something, but you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, if you're here in Texas and you got that old school with the candy paint, and the only thing you misses is them swangers. Yeah, if you're from Texas, you already know what them swangers cost. Motherfuckers a lot of money, man. With the Vogue tires, swangers and Vogues, oh, that's gonna hit you up about 20 grand these days. Well, you know what I'm saying, people swang and bang stuff like that, and that's what this is to me. This is my swanger right here, you know what I'm saying, with my Vogue tires. So you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, man. But yeah, it's a good discussion with you guys, man. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Shout out to you, Mark, man. We definitely gonna catch up on tomorrow. and stuff like that. And I'm gonna get crack-a-lacking on that. I haven't opened up I hadn't opened the files yet. Tomorrow for sure, man. Stuff like that. I did, open it up, previewed everything or whatnot, but put it in Studio One, checking it out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in Ableton Live. I think I'm gonna play with Ableton Live because I can't do what I want to do with it in Studio One or whatever the case may be. But shout out to you, man, Mark, man. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here. Appreciate you for popping in, man. You know what I'm saying? Tuning in or whatnot. Who's this? Oh, I didn't even see you jump in here, man. Shout out to you, Eder Coop. Yeah, Eder Coop. All right, man. Appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see here. Oh, he was up here. My bad. And if you on, man, I'm apologize. I'm so sorry, man. Yep, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's see who this is. The Learning Curve on Music. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I will do a good detailed tutorial, man. I just don't have time. I'm so sorry. My boy, Mr. Wayne. You know what I'm saying? This guy right here, man. If you're looking for a keyboardist, Dwayne Wilson out of Memphis, Tennessee. That brother can play the keyboard, man. Oh, bro, if you're looking for a jazz keyboardist, pianist, anything with a soul, you know what I'm saying, BB King, Bobby Bland type of style, you know what I'm saying? Let's go up to the early 90s. We love the swing and bang, you know what I'm saying? Some of those Suave House. If you into 90s hip hop, rap, Memphis rap, Houston rap, Suave House, this man right here, he was behind the keys. Anything, that was the man right there, man. Shout out to my boy Dwayne Wilson, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, bro. That's my partners that normally tune in, Los the King. They related, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to those two brothers, man. They really support the channel big time and stuff like that. And anybody else that's out there that's tuning in and stuff like that, man, shout out to you too, man. I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. I'm past my bedtime. Not really, but really, and stuff like that. 4:30 coming real early for me, man, and everything like that. I hate the city of Houston, man. This damn city is big, bro. It takes me an hour and 45 minutes to get to work, FYI. So, that time be coming, man. That's why y'all need to go on ahead, subscribe, run the views up, watch it a couple of times, man. You know what I'm saying? So I can get this channel monetized and everything like that. But I have it on my mission once this channel do get monetized or whatnot, man. There's gonna be some big changes here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just waiting, you know what I'm saying? Just waiting. But it's gonna be God's purpose and God's timing with that or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's destined to be there, and been told from a lot of people, hey man, you just need to go ahead and do it. It's more than that, you know what I'm saying? You have to also understand balance, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got family over here, you got skill over there. You can't let skill overstep the family side of things. You got to balance it out. So, you know what I'm saying? YouTube is in the middle. So if it start funneling into money and I'm start making more money that can take care of the family, the videos is going up, man. So you know what I'm saying, we could do what we could do and handle what we can handle and stuff like that, man. But I have to say, if you're watching this right now, I just truly appreciate you for any type of support, you know what I'm saying, whether it's negative or positive, man. I really truly appreciate it, man. But whatnot, and you know what I'm saying, that I'm not gonna cap on it or whatever, and stuff like that. I really do appreciate it, man, for real. So yeah, man, once this channel get monetized, I'm definitely gonna start doing some mixing courses, and I'm gonna do it because I teach it differently. It's not the boring stuff of the technicalities. We can mix the technicalities in there, but we're definitely gonna talk about it in a layman's terms. And I think we're so caught up in looking at the Dave Posados, the Tony Maseratis, the Greg Wells, and the Greg Wells, and who else? Matthew Weiss is out there, other worlds, and plenty of the not to credit those engineers and stuff like that, but you need somebody to explain it and break it down to you in a different way. And I say this wholeheartedly and confidently and not egotistically. Say it confident that, you know what I'm saying, we could teach it in more of a fun way. You know what I'm saying? You got to make this stuff fun. And I had one professor in school and he made it fun. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of like a military type of dude, but he made it fun. And he taught it on the approach of, you know, putting your hands on it, whatnot. And he always used to use, I don't know, he was weird as hell, but he always used to use, yeah, you got to stroke the knob. You know what I'm saying? Stroke the knob. You got to feel, you got to get an inner feeling of it. So when you turn it, you feel that gain in your fingertip. And we used to look at some of my classmates, we used to look at each other like, this dude tripping, man. But you know what I'm saying? There's some truth in that, man, for real. So there's a relationship with, you know what I'm saying, what you hear, what you utilize with your hands, and how everything functions. Just not gonna get that much out of a mouse. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is, man. But y'all stick around, man. Learn something about that. You know what I'm saying? Just be patient with me. You know what I'm saying? Stick around, and y'all gonna learn a lot, man. For real, for real. We even gonna talk about one of these bad boys right here, man. If split it right here. So even though this is for guitar type of players, if you want to AB some audio equipment and it's a mono signal, yeah, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You can definitely utilize that right there, man. So I'm gonna shut the hell up, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shut the hell up, get the hell up out of here, man. I hope everything I talked about tonight was very resourceful for you. That's why I do these streams and everything like that. I am trying to work better on recorded videos, but I don't have time to edit. So once that temperature change and everybody slow down, and you know what I'm saying, we in the house and we ain't outside, stuff like that, well, I have time to do more edited videos and stuff like that. But I just, like, for real, I started the stream at 9:30, and literally like 30 minutes before that, you know what I'm saying, I was jam-packed. You know, people calling me, taking care of this, got a dog, she probably shitted into the goddamn pen and stuff like that, got to take her outside. So I still got another 2 hours to wrap things up and everything like that. So I do all of this out of love, out of passion, for you guys, to help someone, you know what I'm saying, along that journey, trying to understand music and everything like that, man. And you know what I'm saying, I hope I did a very good job, and I hope I continue doing it, man. This has been your boy Super Mario, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all be easy out there, man. Stay safe, keep your head on swivel, stay creative, and we out at you, man. Peace. Yes, sir. Alrighty. Now give me my theme music. Yes, sir.